key part of wisdom is knowing the limits of your own knowledge. And isn't it wonderful how many opportunities open to us when we realize we don't know everything? Let's talk about it.
This is a beautiful thought.
Welcome, beautiful thinkers. I want to tell you something that is probably a lesson that took me a long time to learn. I want to talk about how wonderful it is to know nothing. So, about a year ago, I got this tattoo. It's my very first tattoo on my left upper arm. And it's of the tarot card, the unnumbered card, the Fool's card. And some of you might know the very famous depiction of the Fool's card from the Rider-Waite deck, where you see this fool, or this dandy, fancily dressed with a swag over his arm and his little dog with him. And it looks like he's about to walk straight over a cliff. And this is indicative of what it takes to be a fool, what it takes to embark on a journey. It's about taking a little leap of faith. So I've referred before to George Leonard's mastery, and he talks about, especially about two people who come from other disciplines, and then they come into the Aikido salon or the Aikido dojo in order to train. And one of them knows a lot about karate, and one of them knows a lot about kung fu or whatever it is. And one of them is calm and patient and doesn't even indicate that he knows anything about any martial art. He just listens and takes it in and follows the direction of the master. But the other one is combative at every stage, or antagonistic. And he says, well, can I really, how am I going to do this movement when obviously that's going to leave me open and I won't be able to block something like this? And the master is like, well, just take it one step at a time and we can learn the defensive aspects later, something like this. And at the end of the session, everybody is amazed about the first guy because the master says, well, would you like to show us something of this other discipline? And he pulls out these crazy moves, and everybody is just wowed because they didn't even know that this novice was actually a master in another art. And this is what it takes when we embark, especially embarking on a new skill, but perhaps in every aspect of life, perhaps even on the paths where we are masters. We have to, well, we don't have to, but I like to try to keep that awareness that I actually know very little, even about things that I've studied for years. It's not easy to do. I guess by my nature, I'm a kind of egotistical person. And that's kind of why I got the tattoo. So every time I look at it, I could say, okay, be humble. You don't know everything. And maybe I even don't know much at all. So similar thing happened to me. I was in an ayahuasca ceremony in Chile, and the first night of the ceremony, one of the guides, in the integration session afterwards, one of the guides talked to me about being auto-exigent or being self-demanding. And it's kind of funny because when you're hard on yourself, it can be hard to see that you are hard on yourself. And all these auto-exigent thoughts would occur to me, and I'm saying things to myself like, if I'm that auto-exigent, why aren't I more successful? Which is really It's a very exigent thing to say of oneself because, well, for several reasons. One thing, it's a little diluted. Like, just because you're hard on yourself does not mean you're successful. There's a lot of things that go into success. And the other aspect of it is, well, in many ways, I am successful. So why would I think that? But I was very much resistant to those thoughts. And going into the second night of the ceremony, the guide Sophia said to us, well, she was saying to everybody, but it seemed like it was a message for me. I'm sitting there in the half lotus position, and she's saying something like, doesn't matter what's come before. It doesn't matter if you're an expert in yoga or something else. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if you have those things or not, because tonight we begin. Tonight we begin again. And fortunately, I was able to take her words to heart and say, yes, she's right. And actually, it was kind of funny because I had this perception like she was somehow attacking me all along. She had my best interests at her heart. But hard for me to see because I thought I knew something. Turned out I did not. I did not know something. How wonderful it is to know nothing. Because in our lives, maybe we think that we have only answers. And I've seen people who are actually very intelligent, unable to face the fact that they might not know something, unable to face the idea that they don't know something about happiness, or that something which seems woo-woo or airy-fairy, hippy-dippy might actually help them, and unable to set their prejudices aside in order to explore and experiment. And that's why it is wonderful to be aware of the limits of our knowledge, because if we don't know much at all, that means there's this huge potential that life can be so much better. Of course, the two sides of the same coin, like uncertainty can be very scary, but uncertainty must mean potential. It must. And that's why it's wonderful to know nothing. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day. Adios.
A beautiful thought.
Thanks for joining. Please feel free to send me an email, kurt@beautifulpodcast.com, and the website is the same, beautifulpodcast.com. Check it out, subscribe on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, use Podcast Addict. That's a good app to listen to podcasts. You can download them, listen to them in the gym, while you're sweeping the temple, while you're walking around pondering the existence of your humble self. And have a great day.
Feel